Hello everyone, welcome to Bharat PSU Manthan, and today we have Mr. Golok K. Simli, CTO, Passport Seva Kendra, Ministry of External Affairs. So sir, it's an honor for us that you have joined us today for this amazing meeting that we are having here. So sir, how has been your experience as of now?
No, thanks, Mega. I think it's an absolute pleasure to be part of the Veloxx Media Bharat PSU Manthan. In fact, it's double for me because there are a lot of industry here presence here. There are a lot of decision maker presence here, and these are the forums. I think we need to spread the awareness. We need to understand the industry at large, and no, we need to kind of build a collaborative environment which will take country further. So that's how I put it. Thank you.
So, sir, I wish you all the best for the Bharat PSU Manthan meeting that we are having here. So, sir, when we talk about the Passport Seva Kendra, what do you think? How is your organization embracing digital transformation in the public sector?
A good question, Mega. In fact, why only Passport Seva Program? Let me give a bigger picture. No, when it comes to digital transformation within government or let's say public sector at large. Uh, See, when we are embracing this digital transformation, it was always behind the mind saying that no, the core concerns what we had, in terms of delivering services to the common man, to the masses at large. The first concern was how do I reach all of you wherever you are? Wherever you are means it doesn't matter whether you are in Delhi, Mumbai, or Chennai, or let's say you are in a remote village of Guwahati, or let's say any remote village of Jharkhand or Bihar or UP. So that was our first concern. How do I bridge that gap? How do I reach seamlessly to those citizens which otherwise they are kind of away from the ecosystem, digital ecosystem, right? And that is the first concern we had to deal with. And when we started this large transformation, the idea was how do I create that communication channel? That is the first thing. The second thing is even if I create that communication channel to the citizens or masses at large, how do I speak the language they understand? I must not speak a language which I understand, right? And that's why you are seeing there are a lot of power of technology you are using in terms of converting that language in terms of voice bot, in terms of virtual assistants, in terms of chat bot. I mean, what are all these? It is just to interact with the citizen the way they connect to me. It is not the way I connect to them. So that was the first challenge which we are dealing with most of these large transformation. The second challenge itself was the governance issue. Now, when I say governance issue has fourfold. It's not that easy. People may simply say that governance is a word. No, it's not that. Governance has four directions. The first direction is the people. The governance frameworks must understand the concerns of the people. The citizen must be kept at the core, at the center, and then you build your that governance framework. So that is the first quarter of the governance framework. The second is the execution model. What model you have adapted to reach to that person, to deal with that person, to understand the data you are collecting, to secure the data you are collecting, to store the data you are collecting. So the second is the execution model. So today, if you ask me, Mega, we are coming out of those traditional method, traditional way of dealing with the people, right? So we have come out with a something I call very innovative approach. Innovative in terms of creating that business model, innovating in terms of engaging industry along with the government, because government alone was not able to deal with such masses, let's say 1.45 billion people, right? So that's why we have developed these innovations in terms of engaging industry, in terms of training and capacity building, in terms of change management, in terms of, as I said, creating a business model. So that was very important, right? The execution model. So the third thing is naturally, I mean, if you want to deal with that many masses, that many volume, I think manually you can't even think of. and that is why it's all about digital. So our approach is, the whole of a government approach is digital first approach. How do you take a digital first approach? So that was the third thing. I mean, when I say digital first approach, it should be paperless, it should be cashless, it should be maybe going forward faceless. For an example, today if you apply for a driving license, you don't need to visit to any office, right? You can apply online. Similarly, if you apply for a passport, just one visit you have to go, because I have to collect your biometric data. But remember the earlier days to get a passport, right? So those were the concerns. So that was the third thing. I mean, we must adapt technology, we must adapt digital to deal with this kind of a big problem, large problem, voluminous problem. And when I also say, when you are dealing with these large problems, actually, the biggest problem for all of us is, country like us is, there are a lot of variations in terms of demography, geography, literacy, education, economic conditions. There are a lot of variations, right? So how do you deal with that? And digital technology is the only way to deal with that, right? So that was the third thing. And the fourth thing is, when I talk about governance issue, is the compliances, regulations, law of the land. Today it's your and my data, right? So once you collect that data from citizen, how do you secure? While not only during capture, but also during transmit, during storing of their data, during harnessing of their data, how do you take care of that data privacy and data security concern? So these were the 4 quarters I think we had in mind when we were doing this large transformation. As you rightly asked, what are the essence we build up when we are doing this large kind of a digital transformation within government and public sector?
Well, that was an amazing perspective that you shared with us. And yes, like in earlier days, things were very complicated. When you talked about the passport apply thing, yes, I have also gone through that. But I believe now everything is very, very easy since digitization has taken place. So, sir, my next question for you is that any message that you would like to give to our next generation leaders of the public sector?
No, absolutely. I think my message is very clear. I'll not say message, the experience which we are carrying. We are involved with this journey almost now more than 2 decades, almost 3 decades now. The journey is not easy, Mega. The journey, if one has to travel far, if the impact you are creating for the citizens, which is visible to the citizens, which is coming from their mouth. For an example, today if you ask, you don't have to ask me, you go and ask the citizens how the passport services are, or let's say you go and ask a citizen how the Aadhaar services are, or how the driving license services are. It is the citizen which will tell you, right? So my message is very clear. Whenever you are looking for these kind of a large transformation, these kind of a citizen centricity, these kind of a bridging those gaps, like no kind of a, as we speak, no, whether it is a literacy gap, education gap, economic conditions, or let's say in terms of when you are dealing with the people, how do you empower them? How do you make them inclusive, part of the main ecosystem, mainstream of development? So that's the core message I want to give. That's the core principle. I think it doesn't matter whether I come from government or public sector, but all of us, you come from media, somebody from industry, every one of us has to join together to give that impact to the people, to give that power to the people, which I always call, whatever you do for larger public good, do for a greater good. Yes, so that's how I put it. Thank you.
So, sir, thank you so much for your perspective and for sharing your experience with us, because experience teaches us a lot. So, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Golok here with us. Thanks a lot, sir.